Can you start by giving us a kind of a thumbnail on impressions of Gilbert and Rush, just kind of what their primary or key attributes are as quarterbacks?
Yeah, Coop, Garrett, smart guys. They've been around this thing for a while. They've kind of both been in similar situations where, they just haven't had opportunities to play a ton of football in live games, but they've been in backup roles for a while, and so they've both been preparing. They're really smart guys. They have a great feel for the game. I think both of them have been preparing really well.
And also, you've lived this on both sides. You were the fourth quarterback to come in back in 2015, and now you're preparing a group. Beyond just the physically and execution to do that, what is the psyche kind of on both sides of that when you're that deep into the quarterback depth chart into a season, and how does the individual handle it and the team?
Yeah, obviously unique circumstances, but I think both guys have handled it really well. And they're in unique situations where they weren't a part of this thing, in July, August, even September. And so, there's some catching up. Fortunately, I think, like we said, they're really smart guys. They've picked it up really well. Obviously, I have the ability to translate some things for Cooper. And then Garrett's been able to pick it up, and he's been here probably, really a week or so longer, week and a half longer than Cooper. So, both guys are in similar situations, and they've been preparing really well.
When you guys signed Garrett, Cooper was available. You guys signed Garrett first. Can you go into the thought process on that and lend us to believe that maybe you guys are leaning toward Garrett first again on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. Yeah, that's not necessarily my role there, the personnel aspect of this thing. So I don't want to jump into that. But certainly Cooper's part of the discussion, and Garrett was, and ultimately, Garrett ended up having the opportunity to come down here, which he's done a great job of. And then, obviously we got Cooper in here as well, and so we like both of them. They both give us an opportunity, and we'll see where this thing takes us.
Kellen, how do you get a sense for the degree to which they're caught up on the playbook? And also, Cooper mentioned yesterday that his chemistry with these receivers came back quicker than he anticipated. Have you been able to see that in practice?
Yeah, I think obviously, for both guys, it's just an opportunity as much as we can, just throwing footballs to these guys. Obviously, Cooper's been with them at different times. Garrett's been here for, like we said, a little bit longer just this current season. But, spending time with those guys. Obviously, they haven't thrown a ton to, Amari, Michael, CD, those guys, really in either circumstances. And so, as much as they can, spend time together, talk through this thing, prepare the right way, and we'll give ourselves an opportunity that way.
How much has Zeke been able to do for y'all in practice this week, and do you expect to have to limit him for your game plan on Sunday with his hamstring?
Yeah, I think it's just a wait and see thing. Obviously, not necessarily my area again. I think we got to prepare the right way. We feel great about Tony and some of the younger guys, Enrico, and so obviously we got opportunities. Whoever's out there gives us a chance, and we'll prepare that way. And those other guys get whatever extra reps they get in practice. Depend on Zeke's circumstances, and we'll be ready to roll.
Kellen, during these practices, have you tried to put Garrett and Cooper in similar situations to see how they'd react to help your evaluation process of both guys this week?
No, I don't think we have time to. I think obviously one guy probably got more reps than the other guy preparing, because you got to prepare that way. You got to make sure the first guy's ready, and then the second guy's ready to the best circumstances. And so I think we stay on the normal flow. That's what we've certainly done, and you got to prepare a guy like the starter, or prepare a guy like the number two, and we'll see where that takes us. And I think they both handled it really, really well.
I'm going to guess you don't want to tell us who's been taking most of the snaps over one or the other, so maybe I'll go with a different tack. I asked McCarthy a similar question about this season, if he's ever had a "are you kidding me" moment when more news has cropped up that's been bad. This is since Zeke's been added to the injury report. Have you kind of had any private moment where you said, what else can go wrong, considering you're without Dak, you're without your offensive tackles, now Zeke might be a little banged up?
I mean, it's been unique. Obviously, we're all going through it together. I think, there's certainly challenges with it, but there's also opportunities with it. And that's the way you got to view it. Whether you're a player or you're a coach, at the end of the day, these are opportunities. And whoever gets those opportunities, jump on them. Hopefully take advantage of them, and we'll see where that goes. But, obviously we've had some unique stuff in 2020, with so many things, in the world and obviously with the football aspect as well.
Calvin?
Kellen, how would you describe just how you've been able to put the game plans together the last couple of weeks? Because at one point you had Andy Dalton, and then you got DiNucci. Now you got these two other guys who are trying to decide. How you been able to put things together the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, just trying our best. Hopefully, we just got to find a formula that works for us, and obviously, there's certainly different, unique circumstances. Obviously, no doubt about that. You got a guy like Dak who's you've been with for a long time, Andy, a veteran. Get Ben in there now. The next crew of guys to get an opportunity. Hopefully, you're just trying to find that formula. Puts guys in their best situation to hopefully succeed. And so obviously, they're different. You got to make sure the volumes, you got what you need, but obviously keep it tight. And we'll see.
How have you seen Pollard grow as a runner?
I think just decisiveness. I think the more touches, the more opportunities you get, just the better feel you get for it. And I think there's a few opportunities there in that game where you saw Tony, as soon as he sees it, he hits it. And I think that decisiveness is really what you're looking for. And I think Tony's certainly taken advantage of those opportunities he's had this year.
How, if at all, do you, as an offensive coordinator who has the ability to be in the quarterback's ear up until I believe 15 seconds in the play clock, how do you take advantage of the seconds that you have before the radio goes silent in terms of either reads at the line of scrimmage or just being as informative and helpful as you can to a first-time starting quarterback?
Yeah, I think obviously it's a tool in the NFL. I think it's a balancing act of providing information, and but you got to just balance it out. Kind of from my own experience, if you're trying to operate and run the game and you got something in your ear the whole time, that can be a challenge. Just to have focus and all that sort of stuff. And so, I think it's bits and pieces of information, reminders, whatnot. But 15 happens pretty fast. If you're in a huddle scenario, obviously, we're probably in no huddle a lot more earlier in the year with Dak certainly, and we certainly do that a whole lot. And so we've been in a little bit more huddle scenarios. By the time you break the huddle, a lot of times, you're creeping down below 20, right at that 15 mark by the time we get to the line of scrimmage. But try and utilize it still, the best we can and when we can.
Cooper Rush, having been around him as long as you have, just your guys' relationship, what's the value of that between a quarterback and offensive coordinator? And does his depth of knowledge of the offense naturally go deeper than Gilbert? Your short time that Gilbert's been with the organization? Yeah,
certainly I've been around Cooper for a long time, and so certainly we have an understanding, and the things that maybe have changed and evolved over the course of this year, I'd like to think, I got a good ability to translate it for Cooper, and so, he's a really smart guy. He has a great feel for the game. He's really good just having, awareness to what's going on, and Garrett's had the same thing. I was with Garrett for 1 year in Detroit for a training camp when we were both playing still. And so we've been around each other to some degree. And so he's came in prepared really well. He's been around, a few different spots. And so he's got a lot of, just football awareness and understanding that, he's done a great job of translating this thing and getting caught up to speed.
We'll finish up here with Jory.
Kellen, has Dak been able to be in any of your meetings, or to what degree is he able to be a part of these conversations as you keep preparing for a new quarterback?
Yeah, I think obviously he's in the rehab phase. That's priority one, and I think it's more just seeing each other here and there, running, catching guys in the locker room, catching guys down in between a meeting to a walkthrough, popping out maybe at the beginning of practice here and there, and so obviously he's still going through all the other stuff. He's got to take care of that, but I think it's more bits and pieces, gathering information. I'm sure those guys see each other plenty in the locker room, the other quarterbacks, and so they're able to see him, talk through things. But he's been great. He's been great through this whole process. Anytime anyone sees him smiling, hanging out down there in rehab, it helps everyone.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.